We saw the champions, we saw the bands, we saw the cheerleaders, we saw the fans. They say on any given Saturday it's possible to win. So let's talk about the season from the start to the end. We saw the champions, we saw the bands, we saw the cheerleaders, we saw the fans. They say on any given Saturday it's possible to win. So let's talk about the season from the start to the end.
Welcome to the No Huddle, everyone. And then there were two. North Carolina A&T, Alcorn State. We're getting ready for the Celebration Bowl Part 2 here in Atlanta at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, which hasn't seen a lot of good football I hear this season. I wouldn't know, but that's going to change later this month. Hey, everyone, it's Tolly here. Let's go back in time just a little bit to see how we all arrived at this spot. Southern won an emotional game against Grambling in the Bayou Classic and then had to immediately pack up all that feel-good, put it aside, and travel over to Lorman, Mississippi for a date with Alcorn State that was laying in wait. HBCU Game Day was there at the SWAC Championship.
What's up? Look, this your boy Dee Holt. You are now tuned in to HBCU Game Day, No Huddle on Aspire TV. Look, you already know what's going on. We here for the Alcorn SU game, SWAC Championship. You can see we on the yard, we on the reservation. We got a lot going on, but as you can see, we got a game for the records right now. Battle of the SWAC, Battle of the Champions. Let's see what's going to happen. Let's go. All right, so look, I'm right here with my boy, my friend, the legendary Jacoby. You know what I'm saying? But look, how you feel about the game, bro? I know you were two Alcornites, so tell me how you feel.
Man, you already know, man.
Yes, sir.
9 out of the last 10 times we done beat Southern, man.
Exactly.
We gonna beat them again.
Big facts.
That's what's gonna happen.
I need SU to hear that.
That's
Big
what's gonna
facts,
happen. They shouldn't have beat Grambling,
yeah,
but they did, you know what I'm saying? But that's not happening here in Jacksonville.
Give me a prediction of the score. What you think?
I'm thinking Alcorn by 2 scores.
2 scores.
It might be 2 touchdowns. It might be a touchdown and a field goal.
So, what you think about the SWAC Championship? I know you're a true HBCU advocate. So, how you really feel just in general?
Honestly, I think it's a great opportunity for Alcorn and any other HBCU, SWAC HBCU that will host to bring revenue right to campus.
Right.
We're getting rid of the middleman and bringing all of the parking revenue, ticket revenue, vendor revenue right here.
Yes, sir.
Some people are fans of classics. I'm a fan of this.
Yes,
Bring the money right to the campus.
Yes,
let the new generations who don't know anything about HBCUs come here and see what this culture is. And it will never die.
Amen.
It will never die.
Hey, I'm out here with the Q's of my Alcorn. You already know what's going on.
Yeah,
with my boy here.
Yeah.
Hey, so look, I'm an Alpha, you a Q. Who you think got the best chicken?
We got the best chicken now. Come on, now. We know for the chicken.
So why y'all think y'all got the best chicken?
It's tradition. That's just what we do. That's what we do.
Is that a part of the process? You can't be a Q. You can't cook chicken.
You gotta go.
Oh,
you gotta go. Can't play. Can't cross.
Straight that way. Hey,
straight that way.
Hey, talk about something.
Southern University.
Oh, wait a minute. Hey, now. Cause see, I see all this work and go. I know y'all Q's or whatever. I see that, but we need you to. We gonna turn that to. We gonna put an A on top of it. Cause y'all gonna catch the L. But I'm saying y'all gonna catch the L today. You know that, right?
Not today. More than 117.
Hey, hold on. We got a score prediction. What you think the score gonna be?
More than 117. Southern University.
Whoa! First of all, they barely beat Grambling.
So we see Dee Holt and the Q's had the tailgate lit, but would his Braves be lit like this in Atlanta come 2 weeks is the real question. But in the first quarter, Jamarquez Mims, 32 yards, Southern on the board, and our boy Dee Holt had to make that long walk past them Southern fans. 7-0 Jags up in the reservation. But the ensuing kickoff gets returned for a touchdown, and the boy D is right back hype.
Yes, sir!
Southern's Ladarius Skelton gets a 3-yard score. Then the Braves get a 3-yard touchdown of their own. Alcorn up 16-14 at the half. And of course, D is out there with all the smoke for the Southern fans. Then it was the defense on display. The Jags get a crucial stop on downs. Alcorn snags a pick. And our boy Dee Holt is now literally cheerleading. A field goal in the third makes it 17-16 going into the fourth. And now it's a Holt family reunion on the sideline.
Hey, I'm ready to go. This is my boss right here. So let's talk about it. How you feel right now?
Right now, I can't speak on it, but it's time to ball. It's 4 quarters. The
see what it do. Hey.
A 56-yard touchdown pass from Felix Triggerman Harper to the Charles Pringles has the Braves sideline going up. But Ladarius Skelton was out there doing what he does best. An 8-yard touchdown run is 24-22 Southern with the lead. But the trigger man, he somehow gets free, gets off a pass that is almost a go-ahead touchdown, but the Braves got to settle for 3. They now take the lead 25-24, and it was getting real serious on the sidelines down there for Alcorn.
Hey, you already know what time it is. We're the top, we're the end of the fourth. Alcorn up, 25, Southern 24. It's third down. We're about to get there. Defense, let's go.
But a Deshaun Waller touchdown run plus a 53-yard interception return touchdown equals a win for the Braves, and the celebration was on as Alcorn wins the 2019 SWAC Championship. And of course, we got to check in with the boy Dee Holt as he and his Alcorn Braves celebrate back to back and are going to the Celebration Bowl.
I told y'all what it is. I told y'all what it ain't. The SWAC Champions, it ain't something. Hey. It's all going to That's all. I ain't got nothing to say.
Well, now that we've reached the game that will crown the mythical HBCU National Champions, why don't we go back a little bit in time and see which teams the great minds here at HBCU Game Day predicted would be in the Celebration Bowl. These guys think they know. Steve, who's going to be in the Celebration Bowl?
All right, so I heard all the A&T Magic stuff, but I'm going to go with the new cats on the block. I'm going to go with Bethune-Cookman, and then I'm going to go with Southern in the SWAC.
Wally.
Give me South Carolina State and give me Dewanye Tucker and them cats, Prairie View A&M. Know where you heard it first. Your boy said it.
Folks at home, I'm just going to be the old man on the porch with his khakis and his Skechers on. Give me a repeat of last year's Celebration Bowl. North Carolina A&T and Alcorn State. I'm milquetoast, I know it, but until I see someone else knock those guys off, that's who I'm going with. Well. What do you know? The old man here knew what he was talking about all along. Those young boys and their newfangled ideas about what happens in the world. Get out of here. I tell you who also had some different ideas about the HBCU National Champions and who it would be in the end. That would be one Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University and their entire fan base. And part of that fan base includes movie mogul Will Packer. He swung by the studio to give us a take on whether or not FAMU is the real champ. We'll have that coming up next. You're watching the No Huddle. Okay, welcome back, everyone. All right, let's talk about this. FAMU was not eligible for any championships or postseason play this year because they self-reported violations on their own. But as it turned out, the Rattlers were the best team in the MEAC this year, despite a bitter loss to Bethune-Cookman. Well, they beat A&T, they beat South Carolina State, they went and they beat Southern, but they have not yet lined up with Alcorn State, so there's a flaw in that argument if you wanted to go down that road. But don't let details get in the way of a good story, and FAMU declares they are still the team to beat.
And even in the 2 losses, these guys never doubted each other, and they're champions. Nobody can take that away from them. I don't care what the MEAC office says. I don't care what anybody. No one can take the fact that this football team is the best team in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference and the best team in black college football, hands down. And that's what I'm most proud of, is that these guys have constantly overcome adversity. In every situation that they've been thrown, they just continue to fight. And they fight, and they strike, and they strike, and they strike again, and they just don't quit. And that's the sign of a championship group, and that's why we are the 2019 national champions. That's right.
Now, did you notice the gentleman in the orange jacket? Well, that's our friend Vaughn Wilson, and he's producing a new segment for us this week. It's called Game Day Prime. Let's check it out.
Welcome to HBCU Game Day Prime. This is a new segment we've added to the show, and we want to get into a host of topics. I'm joined today by former FAMU great center and NFL great Wally Williams, and the guru, the sports guru, Curtis Ford Jr. And let's jump right into it. Curtis, give us your take on the SIAC Football Championship.
Well, in the SIAC Championship, you had two of the premier programs in SIAC, and Miles and Albany State. Both of them have championship pedigrees. We all know about Albany State, but in that championship game, we saw Miles College rise to the occasion, take a 21-6 victory over Albany State, led by a dynamic rushing attack. You got 3 running backs averaging over 5 yards per carry, and that victory led them to the NCAA playoffs. Some say they probably shouldn't have been in the playoffs, but they made it. They earned their way in, won the championship, and hats off to their coach and their staff and the Bears.
Well, good. And I'm going to jump right into the CIAA Championship. 2 words, Bowie State. Dominated all year, undefeated throughout the year. They beat Fayetteville State once again, and they lost to Carson Newman in the Division II playoffs. But this is a team that is really dominant in the CIAA. I mean, really got a stranglehold on the CIAA. Of course, it starts with the head coach, Damon Wilson, CIAA Coach of the Year, quarterback Jerome Johnson, CIAA Offensive Player of the Year, Demetri Marcel, the CIAA Defensive Player of the Year, and if that's not enough, the Defensive Rookie of the Year, Jonathan Ross, 12 players in all on the all CIAA team.
And Vaughn, I say this about Bowie State. From hanging up there a little bit in Maryland and spending time up there, they have really, really put a circle around that state of Maryland and kept their players there, which a lot of Maryland schools don't do. And when they made that adjustment with their recruiting and their game planning, I think that's a little bit of what you see with the rise of talent that they have at that university now.
Absolutely. And now let's jump into a thriller, the Bayou Classic. Wally, what was your take on the Bayou Classic?
Man, Bayou Classic. Look, I'm over there just looking at the game, but I'm smelling the Cajun and everything through the television while it's going on.
Former New Orleans Saints lineman.
Spend a little time in Cajun country. You really, really gravitate to that culture. And the Grambling Southern game, the Bayou Classic, it is a culture. It's not just a game. And for these 2 high-powered HBCU universities to be on national television and to give us the show that they gave us over the weekend, I mean, I think this right here shows the country really of what HBCU football can be on a national scale. And last-second field goal block. You have 2 seniors right there. Senior John Davis blocking the field goal of the senior kicker for Grambling, Mr. Mendez over there. These guys have been fighting for 4 years, and it all comes to this in their final game, a blocked field goal, and Southern takes the SWAC Championship.
And at the end, when the coaches came together, they basically went, everybody left everything out there on the field.
Y'all know the best part about that last sequence of events?
What's that?
When Southern was trying to ice Grambling's kicker, and Coach Favre just kind of looks and claps with a nice smile.
That was a great showing. But that's our time for today. HBCU Game Day Prime. I'm Vaughn Wilson, signing off for Wally Williams and Curtis Ford. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you back next time.
Well, it's great conversation, and anything that keeps the conversation going about HBCU football is a big win in my book. I mean, who wants to sit around and talk about Alabama and LSU all day? I mean, some of you do. I've seen your cars and I've seen the bumper stickers, so don't front. But a lot of people like to talk HBCU football and sports, including Will Packer, big-time movie producer, FAMU grad. He dropped by the studio the past week because he's going to be a guest on HBCU 101. We could not let him get out of the studio without talking about FAMU. All right, a couple of quick minutes here with FAMU grad Will Packer. You're class of 96, so at HBCU Game Day, we would like to know, what was your favorite sports moment while you were at FAMU?
Ooh, favorite sports moment, I can tell you. It was the Atlanta Football Classic, right? It's gone away for a little while. I'm hoping it comes back. But every fall, we used to play TSU. And we play in Atlanta at what was the Georgia Dome back then. Win or lose, it was the most amazing event it was like homecoming meets Daytona Beach with a little bit of Freaknik thrown in. I wouldn't know about that, but I heard. But it was a really, really good time. So I just remember, being undergrad and then even into being, an alumni, always hitting the Atlanta game is what we used to call it.
We'll just look over the details here. FAMU was ineligible for the football championship this year, but they did have the best record, but they lost to Bethune-Cookman again in the Florida Classic. Would you rather have the best record in the MEAC or a victory against VCU?
Ooh, that's a good question. First of all, I caught the disrespect. I feel like you definitely set me up with that because we did have an amazing year. And so for you to boil it down to that one loss, I feel like you're coming for me. But whatever, it's fine because I know my Rattlers got my back. And because we are not eligible, it opened the door for inferior schools like North Carolina A&T to then come in and be in the Celebration Bowl. But otherwise, it would have been us because we won the MEAC. But whatever. To answer your question, what would I prefer, right? An undefeated amazing season or to beat VCU? I want to beat VCU. I'm not going to lie to you, okay? The season was great, but I will be darned if that final game didn't hurt our feelings. So you know what? Congratulations, VCU, but I'm telling you now, I'm doing whatever it takes to beat y'all next year. I'm paying players. I'm just going to tell you now, we're going to be on probation again because I'm going out and I'm doing whatever I'm taking all the VCU players to the strip club the night before. You know they want to go. You know they do because they got nothing Daytona. So, I should stop. I'm done.
Last question here. We're in basketball season now. Does anything outside of football matter at FAMU sports-wise?
Oh, you know what? It will. It will. I'm going to be honest with you. We just hired a new athletic director. He happens to be a fraternity brother of mine. I'm proud of him. I'm looking forward to see what he does with the program. Right now, definitely football, as with most colleges, D1. That's what gets all the love. But basketball is on its way, and FAMU actually has a couple of really good programs in other areas. Softball is not bad down there, and I'm told our swim team is coming up. But here's the deal. Basketball is on its way. Football kind of is the bellwether that leads, everybody. Everybody follows football, and I'm proud of that. But all the rest of the sports are coming up too.
All right, thanks, Will. That was great stuff from him, and he has a unique view. He'll be on HBCU 101 this Sunday. Wow. Great guy, man. Really funny dude. So make sure you check it out Sunday, 12 noon Eastern on Aspire TV. Hey, when we come back, we are going to talk a little more football. We got some news for you. And you're watching the No Huddle on Aspire TV. Well, since the regular season ended, we've been running back memories of this past year. Last week was number 10 and number 9, a pair of big comebacks. The motif this week, number 8, number 7, we're talking about rivalries renewed. Now, I had a front row seat to number 8, Savannah State, back in the SIAC, kicking butt and taking names. It began in earnest when the Tigers marched on Atlanta and Morehouse, and number 7, Hampton, trying to stay connected with an invitation to the cookout and their HBCU roots, doing a little business with Virginia Union that didn't turn out as expected. Savannah State 17-10 winners in Atlanta on their welcome back to the SIAC tour.
I don't want to get emotional. That's pretty awesome. It's been a downtrodden program for a lot of years. 20 years, people have been embarrassed to be Savannah State fans and hadn't had a lot to talk on the water cooler. Now these guys can stick their chest out a little bit, and we can bring some pride back, help save our school, our university, and put ours back on the map. So a big win for us in Atlanta, and man, what a great crowd. Get that crowd, man. They're awesome.
I'm very glad that we stepped down SIAC, mainly because our guys can compete on the level that other schools are at the same level. Prior to that, we were getting, it wasn't a good look. But now we're doing this. This is one of our great outcomes from a game here locally in Atlanta.
I love it. I love it. We get to play some games with some teams we're comfortable with playing. I love it.
Is it easier as a fan to travel?
Oh, heck yes. It's easier to travel in the SIAC because we can go beat them Fort Valley Wildcats, them Golden Rams, beat them all because the mighty Savannah State Tigers.
And you're not about to leg tackle no Tobias Taylor, bruh. 40 yards, another 7 points, Union up 14-0. And I don't know why Jadakiss Bonds was this wide open, but go ahead and knock yourself out with a 40-yard touchdown, my guy. Pirates cut the Panther lead to 14-7 in the second. But on the field in the second half, Union was Craig hitting Debo with the brick. Tobias Taylor has a couple strong runs that sets up another great play-action touchdown pass from Khalid Morris to Charles Hall, this one for 28 yards, 21-17 Union with the lead. Shy McKenzie tries to reverse field in the absolute worst place you should ever try that, the end zone. He gets tripped up for a safety, 2 more points for the Panthers, 23-17 Virginia Union. A field goal by Union makes it 26-17, and you can officially start to see the sweat trickling down Hampton's cheek early in the fourth quarter. Francois looking to make a play to get his squad back in the game, but Sterling Hammond gets a pick. Khalid Morris finds Charles Hall in the end zone for the third time. It's 33-17 Union. They would add another field goal to make the final score 36-17. Union scores 22 unanswered points. Tobias Taylor finishes with 165 yards on the ground. Charles Taylor, 3 catches, 3 touchdowns, 152 yards, and Union had some smoke for anyone thinking they were about to come for these boys from Richmond.
3-1! Oh my God! Tell them we need that thing in all one.
Well, HBCU coaching news continues to evolve as the offseason arrives for most teams. This one not a surprise here, but news nonetheless. There's a job opening at Howard University. The Ron Prince experiment is over after less than 1 calendar year. The Bison announced that Prince, who had been on administrative leave, resigned in what was described as a mutual parting of the ways. Prince had been under scrutiny for alleged verbal abuse and the mistreatment of his players. Prince had been hired to take over for Mike London, who went over to William and Mary. Now, Howard finished the season at a paltry 2-10 in 2019, and Director of Football Operations Aaron Kelton will continue interim responsibilities for the day-to-day operations of the football program, according to Howard University. We'll have more of the No Huddle when we return. Well, that's going to do it for this week's show. Just a couple of quick asks before we get out of here. Head over to our website, hbcugameday.com. If you want to keep up with the latest news about HBCU sports and culture, hbcugameday.com. There you can subscribe to get notifications whenever news happens. It'll go right to your phone, or if you're still on AOL.com, it can go there as well. It can go anywhere. We'd also like for you to stroll on over to our Facebook page and our YouTube channel, and wherever it says subscribe, like, follow, just boom, Hulk smash that button. It'll be the best present that you can give to us, and we'd greatly appreciate it. Enjoy the holiday season. We'll talk to you next weekend. More Celebration Bowl talk when we come back next Saturday right here on the No Huddle.